Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Underrail. And in the last episode, we went around, we talked to some of the guys, we started our quest to learn our psi abilities, and we talked to the engineering Izar guy, and he sent us off to some weird like mind control trip kind of thing. And basically what we're going to do is go back up and talk to him now. He's in engineering and the cyber labs. So let's see what he has to say. Granted, we could go and get healed up, but I already know what's going to happen, and we don't really have to worry about getting, getting into another fight. But that is something that we're going to do here as soon as we're done talking to him. Let's see what he has to say first. So let's say, do you have anything to trade? Are you blind? What is exactly that you do here? What did you do to me? And that's what we're going to be talking to him about, because he did send us someplace. Only what you wanted. Consider that your first lesson, free of charge. I want to learn more psi abilities. I can teach you how to short-circuit the brain of others, instill fear in them, and break their minds. And of course, these require certain skill level in your thought control. Thought control 30 and thought control 45. And if you ask to learn these, you just don't have the ability to do it yet. So you need to get an extra level, or maybe 2, depending on what you put your points into. So it says, I want to learn how to break minds. That's going to be pretty cool. I want to learn how to scare others. That will be cool in fights. If you get into multiple creatures, if there's 2 or 3 creatures there that are humanoid creatures, you can scare maybe 1 or 2 of them off, so that you can just fight 1 at a time rather than all 3 or 4 or 5 guys hitting you at one time. So I'll show you what happens when you say I want to learn something you can't possibly learn just yet. You are not ready for that yet. Same thing for that one. You are not ready. Never mind, let me ask you something else. So when you are ready for that, you can come back and talk to him, and I think he charges you a little bit of money. It's like 100 or 150 credits to do that. So you can see what he has to barter. Now this hacksaw is a tool that you're going to need, used to hack various computer devices as well as disable electronic locks. Attempts to hack a computer device can be used to disable electronic locks. Consumes 5 energy. With your effective hacking skill, you can disable a lock up to 20 difficulty rating with this device. Now there are better devices. There's a Mach 2 and a Mach 3 and things of that sort. But you'll see at the very bottom it says energy 0 out of 30. It has no energy on this device. All you're buying is the device itself. In fact, I'll show you how much it is. It's 20 credits for me, which is not too bad. I'll probably get it. But you're going to need a supercharged lithium cell to be able to give it energy, and without that, you can't open up any locks. So keep that in mind, that you're going to have to at least get one of these, and these are really expensive as well. You got blueprints, cloaking device, a blueprint, EMP grenade, EMP mine, goggles, psionic headband, and taser. And the psionic headbands, you'll see some of them over here. Psychokinesis is increased by 9. Of course, it has its own durability, electronics, and things of that sort. So you can make some pretty cool stuff for your guy in this area. If you're going to be going down the psi path, this will probably be a place that you're going to come to get some of this stuff to be able to use for your guy. I think we'll hold off on this for now because we have so little cash, and we're not going to be using it just yet. And of course, you have mind shrooms that we picked up earlier during that little combat that we picked up, or the little fight that we're going on. It's a component. This giant glowing mushroom contains powerful psionic catalyst, which can be used to create psi-enhancing concoctions. And you have to have the biology at 15 to craft this into something. But before you can even do that, you have to have the research module that you can buy from these guys to be able to do it. If you go into your crafting, there's nothing there. Even if you had the skill to be able to craft it, you just can't do it without the little items. So let's come over here, and we'll go ahead and talk to the doctor to get healed up real quick, and then we'll go down and to the armory. So let's go to medical. And again, anytime you're damaged, you can always come back to the doctor and heal up. And it says, could you take a look at my injuries? Of course, that's why I'm here. We'll have you fixed up in no time. Let him treat your wounds. And I actually owe this little discovery that you can talk to this guy to Rob. He was one of our viewers, and he commented down below as he was watching me play through my first playthrough, and he was letting me know that you can come back and talk to this guy. It's a huge lifesaver. I mean, you wouldn't be able to play the game as well as you should be able to if you didn't have to come back here and heal this guy. Of course, you can use potions and things of that sort, but when you're coming back from a dungeon, usually you have a little bit of life that's been damaged, and you don't want to waste a potion on it because you don't get too many of them. So being able to come back and heal up during those situations really helps your guy out in the long run. So let's talk to Lucas. Hey again, Demiro. I hear you will be staying with us for a while. Guess so. For a while, at least. Well, make yourself at home. Can I have my gun back? I want to trade barter. I gotta go, actually. So I'll say, can I have my gun back? Of course. It was the 5mm and some ammo, if I recall correctly. I have it right here. Too bad you can't say, no, you weren't recalling it correctly. It was the sniper rifle with all the ammo. So let's go into... let me check here, because I think he may have given enough psi ability. No? No. Oh, he did. Neural overload. Thought control. Short circuits the central nervous system of a living target, dealing 14 to 19 electrical damage. Damage is increased by 10% for every target point of intelligence over 5. So we have 10. Is it 10? No, it's 10 into wisdom and 8 into intelligence. So that's an extra like 40% damage by using this. This damage cannot be shielded and bypasses standard electrical resistance, but can be lowered by the target's resolve. So action points are 18, psi points, power basically 15, and range is 10. So we'll drag that down here, put that over here. Actually, we'll get rid of lockpicking, and we don't really need burst, so we'll get rid of that as well. So we'll put this over here, move these around a little bit, and we'll go up into our inventory. Make sure you equip your gun into either hand. It doesn't really matter which one. And then once you have the gun equipped, you still need to put rounds of ammunition on. And you do that by right-clicking the ammo, and you can see this reloads the current weapon. Reload the current weapon with 5mm standard rounds. Action points are 15. So if you do this during combat, it will actually use your action points that you use to attack enemies. So you won't be able to attack as much during a turn when you reload. Reload weapon reloads a weapon with 5mm standard rounds. Load single bullet current weapon. Loads a single 5mm standard round into the current weapon. Can only be performed out of combat. Action points are 5. Not quite sure why you would only ever want to reload just one single weapon, or one single bullet. Load single bullet loads a single 5mm standard round into a weapon. Can only be performed out of combat. So, again, that's weird that it's only doing one. Action points are the same regardless while you're in combat. So let's go ahead and reload current weapon. And you'll see right above his head it says reloading. It does take a few seconds. And now here on the very bottom of the screen, you'll see you have a certain amount of rounds. When you fire these rounds in combat, they will slowly start to disappear, and when you are empty, then you will literally have to reload again, whether you're in combat or not, if you want to continue to use that weapon. So now when you're doing this quest, a lot of people will just come over here and use the range, and then you go back to Tanner and try to turn in, and you can't. You literally have to talk to Gorski and have him walk you through how to use this weapon. The tall, imposing figure of this battle-scarred veteran towers before you. You meet Gorski before. He's one of the counselors that interviewed you when you first arrived. Arrived from where? I don't know. So you passed all Tanner's little test and exercise. That could not have been easy, but don't think you're some kind of hotshot now. You are yet to deserve the privilege you've been given. There's always somebody like this in a community who doesn't like to make people feel welcome, who really take offense to other people who do well, and try to put you down. I mean, you went through all the hoops when, as you learn later on, there's other communities out there who will just take you the way you are. You don't have to go through any tests, and they'll even give you stuff you will hear with like other people. So I mean, it's just, why did you go out of your way to join these people and then have a butthead like this in there? I don't know. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. I understand. Yeah, whatever, Pops. So I guess you can be rude to your elders. I would rather just tell this guy you're an idiot. Just give me the quest, but I'm looking forward to the opportunity. We'll see. So why are you here? I'm here for some target practice. So how do these consoles work? You'll tell them I'm here for some target practice. Go ahead then. But what exactly do I need to do? How the heck should I know? You came here on your own. Actually, Tanner sent me here. This isn't actually my idea of fun. I'm here because Tanner insists on wasting my time. Okay. Well, I suppose he told you what you should be doing then. Look, just take it for a spin. Put some 10 shots into the target at whatever range and it's fine with me. And remember to end the bloody session afterwards. Tired of people leaving the lights on. But I don't know how to use the consoles. Alright, look here. It's simple. Use the console to set the target's distance, right? Then you start a session. The session will track your hits and misses automatically, so you can check your progress while you shoot. When you've had enough, end the session. So what distance do I set? Well, it depends on the weapon now, doesn't it? If you've got a rifle, you can set it to max. Otherwise, try 8 yards. Experiment a little. So, this guy sounds like he's mad because you're wasting his time, whereas he's literally just standing in a corner not doing anything. So he clearly has plenty of time to waste. And as you can tell, I don't really like Gorski all that much. Welcome to the shooting range. What do you wish to do? Configure target distance, start new session, leave. So we're going to do configure target distance. And we're going to do the shortest target distance that you can possibly do. You're welcome to put whatever you want on here, but they don't give you more or less rewards for the further away it is. So even if you did go down the gun path, there's no reason to waste ammo by maybe missing, because you need to hit it 10 times. Or do 10 shots anyways. And there's no reason to waste the ammo. You might as well just do the closest as possible. So let's do a start new session. Session started in dialogue. So now all you have to do is point and shoot. 1, 2. I think it's just firing the shots, but we'll go ahead and check here in a second. And all you got to do is check the console, and you'll see total shots 9, hits 5, misses 4, and average damage is 12. So continue session, we'll get one more. And now we can go ahead and end session. That's all he wanted us to do, was get 10 shots down range, and we got it. So we can continue and leave. Now what you want to do before you do that is go ahead and refill your ammo. You have 60 rounds, and now you can put a little bit more in there. You know what? I think it used 10 rounds. Oh yeah, I did use 10 rounds because we put 10 rounds down. I was going to say maybe it used more rounds than we had space for, but no, it didn't. And so now we're done. Now we can just go back and turn into Tanner. And he will give us, of course, a little bit more experience. And of course, I didn't come down here to show you guys what was here, because there's not really anything here. There's nothing down here that you can open. I believe this door's locked. Yeah. I'm sure you'll get into it later on. Doors that are locked and they don't have a lockpicking skill required to open up those doors, this is something that you get into when you walk by these guys, is when you run by them, they literally stop you. And they don't always continue on their path, so that's something they could look into for the programmers to fix that. But if it doesn't have a lockpicking skill above it, that means chances are it's going to be something that you're going to get a key for from a person that you kill, or maybe from pickpocketing these guys in the zone. But there's no other way to get in there other than getting that key. So let's come down here real quick. Let's go ahead and talk to Tanner. He nods, DeMiro. I have to go. What do you mean I have to go? I did the... Start the practice session, score 10 hits, and end the session. Man, I knew I did that wrong. That sucks. Okay, so let's go back down there and do that again. Of course, that's going to waste more ammo. I knew I was on the right track with my thing. It's been a long time since I've done these early quests, so I should have double checked anyways. But now we'll have to start a new combat and waste probably another 15, maybe 20 rounds to get the 10 hits. Start new session in dialogue. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you keep missing. 7, 8, 9. Come on. 10. So I used all our ammo. And you can see you go through it pretty quickly, and it cost a good deal of money for that ammo, so you don't really want to do that. Total shots, hits 10, 50 damage, or 50%. So we'll go ahead and end session, continue, leave, and now we can go back up. I can't believe I wasted all that ammo the first time around. Well, I mean, I can believe it, but it sucks. Let's go back to Commons and Cantina. I think he gives you a little bit of cash too, so it's alright. But we're not going to be using our weapon regardless. It's mainly going to be our psionics, and then our little fist, our heavy punch, which is free. He nods, Demiro. I'm done with target practice. Excellent. Are you ready for your mission then? Bring it. I'm listening. Actually, I got to take care of something first. So say, I'm listening. Down in the tunnels below our station, just to the north, lies a series of outposts. These outposts were built by another station a long while ago, and they used them for scouting and defense. I want you to retake these outposts. To do so, you will need to activate the main power generator, and that's located in one of them. Harold from Engineering Sector thinks he knows how to get the generator operational. Speak to him before you head out. I think there are a total of 5 outposts, plus the one with the power generator. I don't know if it is possible to activate all of them, but try to activate at least 3. You may also want to talk to Jonas at the Crossroads watch post. It's down in the tunnels just outside the station. You'll be passing through there anyways. He's been around the tunnel a lot, so he'll surely have some advice for you. How well is this task credited? Why are you retaking these outposts? So let's say, why are you retaking these outposts? It is an important strategic position. Besides clearing them out, we'll also push some of the unwanted wildlife further away from our station. Wildlife? I understand a pack of rat hounds moved into the area, but you'll best talk to Jonas about that. He'll have more details. He knows the area inside out. So okay, we got their new quest to do. And basically what I'm going to do now is actually head in the opposite direction so I can talk to one of the other guys that we can speak to about our psionic abilities. Now, where you need to go is the cave and exit tunnel after you've talked to Jonas, of course, which is, I believe, an engineering lab. But we're going to go to the lower Underrail station platform and barracks, and we're going to go ahead and talk to, what was his name? He's like the monk guy. He's going to give us new abilities if we have the money to train there. And basically it's going to be this way down here. Now you can talk to some of these other people. They don't really have anything for you just yet. It's a little too soon for you to even be down here. This is the direction you want to go when you're doing the package quest that we got earlier. In fact, I'll show you where that is. We might as well pick it up while we're here. And you can come down here and pick up the package. It's going to be in the barracks. You can talk to Roman here. And I believe the footlocker is one of these. There we go, we unlocked it. And this is the package, miscellaneous, a light sealed, a nondescript package. So we'll take it. Granted, it was red, but we're in a room all by ourselves and they can't see. We can even close this door. And now we can really go to town on these things if we have the ability to do so. I don't think we have 30. Not that one. Skills. Our lockpicking is at 14. Because we don't have any dexterity, so we actually put 15 points in and we only got 14 points out of it. But our hacking is 20 and we only put 15 in, so we did get a little bit out of it, more than what we actually put in. It adds up, you know. It's something that you can come back in here and do later on. Nothing in that one. Mechanical 30, so we can't do that yet either. And I can come over here and talk to Roman real quick and show you. Hi, you must be Demiro. Name's Roman. I'm in charge of the barricade. Wish I had time to chat, but I'm very busy right now. Have you made any progress in clearing the tunnel? How much damage did the earthquake do? Well, not sure. It might be that the tunnel just caved in a couple of places. I've sent some parties to the tunnel side entrance to investigate. We'll know more when they return. Have you made any progress in clearing the tunnel? Not much so far. We have to dig deep enough to safely plant the explosive. Otherwise, we risk damaging the tunnel even more. So, I'll leave you to do work then. And we'll come up here, and the guy we want to talk to is literally right here. Bison is the guy we want to talk to. Hello, friend. I don't believe we met. Name's Bison. Well met, Bison. I'm Demiro. I'd love to chat more, but as you can see, we're a bit too busy right now. Is there something you need? What are you doing? Can you teach me psi abilities? So let's ask him what he's doing first. I'm helping with clearing up the tunnel by using telekinetic manipulation. Can you teach me some psi abilities? I can teach you psychokinetics if you're interested, but I'm afraid I have to charge you. That's alright, what can you teach me? Why do you have to charge me? I'm not a scavenger and I'm not a manufacturer. Teaching is how I get by. That's alright, what can you teach me? What is the Telekinetic Punch exactly? When it comes to psionics, I can teach you Telekinetic Punch, Force Field, Force Emission, and Electromagnetic... whatever. So you need at least 25 to learn Force Field. We're going to get that as soon as possible. You need 35 for Force Emission, and you need 30 for Electrokinesis. And we can do Punch already, but I'm not sure if we have enough money for it. It's when you force your mind to create a telekinetic ball and launch it at your target. Impact is often so strong that if you hit a living target with it, you're more likely to daze it for a short while. So we're going to basically get a free turn, because if it's dazed, it can't hit back. I can teach you the ability for 50 credits. Okay, we can do that. Agreed, here you go. On second thought, I'd rather spend my money on something else. So agreed, here you go. Let's begin your training then. And I guess, you know, we'll go ahead and learn it while the screen is dark. And now we can come in here and get our second one, our Telekinetic Punch. Telekinetic force strikes the target, dealing 17 to 24 mechanical damage and stunning it for 1 turn, unless it passes a fortitude check. The stun only affects organic targets. Action points are 15, psi points or mana is 25, range is 5, cooldown is 3 turns. So you can't even use it every turn. Let's move our psi abilities over here a little bit. So this one is only 15 points to do that one. It does 14 to 19 damage, and this one does more, but it uses more psi points. 25. So you go through your points pretty quickly. But now that we got that, we're set to go off and do some hunting. Hopefully we can do some pretty good damage with this stuff. Remember, you want to use it kind of sparingly if you can, because you don't want to waste too much of it, because you can't really recharge. It doesn't recharge on its own as far as I know. If you guys have any idea what feats to be using, especially if you know a way for this to recharge naturally, or to get more of these abilities, more of the boosters to be able to use more of this stuff more often, go ahead and leave that down in the comments below as well. So we want to go to Engineering and Cyber Labs now. That's because we have to talk to, what's his name, to get the component to turn all these pieces back on. So let's see, he is right here. I think it's Harold. What's up? Tanner tells me you know a way to restore power to the outpost to the north. Do you have any stuff for trade? I was just looking around. See you later. Yes, I remember taking a look at the power generator there a while back. I couldn't do anything about it back then because I didn't have this. He rummages through the boxes that are on the table before producing something resembling an energy core. Continue. It's a flux controller. If you insert it into the slot at the front of the power generator, it should get it running again. After that, you should be able to reactivate all the outposts. I'm afraid you'll have to do it manually though. You see, each of them has a switch that cuts off the power in case of a hazard. Alright, thanks, I'll give it a try. So now you got the piece that you need. You can actually head on out and actually start the quest. Now there's still a few levels that we didn't talk to people on. We didn't go to the administration and library. We didn't go to the pins, and I think that's it. So let's go ahead and head over there before we head out. And you just never know what you're going to see in these areas. Now I've been to them before, but if you haven't been here before at all, it's a good idea just to get the lay of the land and talk to some of these people. If you're having trouble finding some info, best speak to Vera. Of course, these doors are all red, so you want to stay away from them. Let's come down here. I think Vera's down here. Yeah, Vera Hale. You met Vera previously during the testing period. She is one of the counselors here at the Southgate station. Good to see you found your way to my office, DeMiro. How do you like your new home so far? It's pretty good. I can see myself staying here for a long time. It's been fine so far. People keep sending me to do some solo dangerous missions. It's crazy. That's good to hear. So anyways, how can I help you? What can you tell me about Core City? Can you tell me a bit about United Stations? I want to learn about the Protectorate. So let's say, what can you tell me about the Core Cities? It's a city to the north that spans both levels of Underrail. It serves as gateways to both the upper Underrail and the United Station territories to the north. The city used to be controlled by Biocope Security, but they went rogue and split into smaller factions. This was followed by a couple of years of street wars between those factions. The fighting ceased eventually in light of outside threats and serious infrastructural problems, and nowadays the three surviving factions rule the city together through their appointed mayors. Can you tell me a bit about the United Stations? Certainly. United Stations, also called Union by some, is a confederacy of stations in North and Central Underrail. It's an attempt to unify the entirety of Underrail so that we could all work together towards a better future for the human race. Similar to our station, the Union is ruled by a council of 5. Most stations of the Union have some degree of autonomy as well. The United Stations are constantly expanding, and while no station here in the South are yet to become part of it, something like that will surely happen in the future. What can you tell me about Core City? I want to learn more about the Protectorates. The Underrail Protectorate is a military organization that protects the United Stations from external and internal threats. It predates the Union itself, and it also played a crucial role in its creation. The Protectorate is under the command of General Malik, who is widely considered to be the most powerful man in Underrail. He holds a special place on the United Stations Council of 5, and some also believe him to be the de facto ruler of it. So let's see. Are there plans for the SGS to join the United Stations at some point? Our citizens and our council are divided on that matter. We currently have good trading relations with the Union, and I personally think it would be a good idea to be among the first to join it here in the South. We are arguably the most powerful faction in these parts, so we could position ourselves advantageously in their organization and also retain a high degree of independence. This would also ensure we avoid any potential military conflict in the future should the Protectorate decide to move against some of the less civilized communities in the neighborhood. But as I said, not everyone agrees with me here. You must understand that many of our current citizens came from organizations that have, for various reasons, been Protectorate targets in the past, so they are not very keen on being buddies with their old enemies. But let me ask you, what is your opinion on the matter? Would you like to see the station become a member of the United Stations? Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Humanity is certainly better off united. I'm not sure. I reserve judgment until I learn more about all this. Heck no, it just sounds to me like a silly facade for the Malik guy ruling the underworld through a gun. So I'm going to say I'm not sure, because granted, it sounds great on paper, it sounds like they're doing a good job, but I haven't seen what they're doing personally for myself. And in my last playthrough, what I did see led me to believe that the exact opposite of what they say is the truth. I saw them over in the junkyard, basically sitting by while people were being exploited and beaten and killed and, you know, a whole bunch of other stuff, and they weren't doing anything about it. Now, that could be simply because they didn't want to overstep their bounds while they're slowly moving into an area, but if you're a good person and somebody's being beaten, you do something about it. If you don't, then you're just as guilty as the person who's doing it. So, in my eyes, they're not this great, holy, you know, end-all, be-all. Hopefully that's going to unite the factions together. At least that's my take on it. You're welcome to make your own judgment on it, but they don't really seem to be all that great in my opinion. You are a wise man. I hope that, like me, your future dealings with the United Stations will encourage you to support their efforts. Don't hold your breath. I want to learn about the Protectorate. Are there plans? See you later. Okay, so let's come over here and look around real quick. Now you got a desk that you can look through, which means there's probably nothing in it. Let's see, can we talk to... You can talk to the commoner. It's nice and quiet here. There's a lot of boxes you can go through as well. Again, if you're able to go through it while there's people standing here, there's chances are nothing in it. But the good thing about doing that is now when you click on it, it shows you that the desk is empty, that that box is empty. And so you don't have to doubt whether it is, especially if you're sneaking through everything. You don't want to waste your... okay. You don't want to waste your sneaking ability and your perception checks and stuff like that. Because if they see you while you're sneaking, you have to leave the area, go back to sneak, and come back in. And you want to make sure that you go straight for the stuff that's going to really get you some really good stuff. Having trouble finding some info. Shelf is empty. How's it hanging? Check out the desk. Nothing, nothing. Shelves are going to have nothing in them. Okay, so let's go over here and talk to this commoner. So how do you like the new home so far? How's it hanging? Some of the consoles are out again, but I think Urzar is working on that computer console. So that one's not working, and you can't use the one in front of him just yet. So maybe somewhere down the road you can use those. I haven't actually gotten to the point where I can. Let's go ahead and zone real quick. Let's go up to the pins. So let's take a look around. You can't go through that barrel. There is a light switch you can turn off if you're going to try to sneak around and try to get into some things. You'll see that there are no cameras on this level like they are on some of the other ones. Let's go through here. Somebody in here. Shelves you can loot. Quentin. He stops as you approach him. Careful, you don't want to get in contact with this toxin. He continues to cut through the creature as he talks to you. My name is Quentin. Don't bother introducing yourself. I know who you are. You're Demiro, and you just got admitted to the station. I'd shake your hand, but I got my hands full here. What kind of creature is that? What are you doing exactly? What is that room over there? I'm told you can teach psionics. Do you have anything to trade? Never mind. So let's start with the most basic. What is that creature? It is a borrower. It's one nastier creature that digs around, laying eggs all over the place. They are more numerous, deeper underground, but you can still find a few roaming the lower Underrail and the surrounding caves. If you meet one, be careful. It will spit thick, hard spines at you that are coated with poison. Another thing that it doesn't tell you here is that they will lay eggs constantly, and the eggs all pop out a little small burrower of their own, which if you get distracted by attacking those, will never end. You have to attack the mother of it and kill that, which will mean eventually you'll have like 5 or 10 or even 15 of those little burrowers all attacking you, and you still have to get out of that somehow. So be careful when you take these guys on. They are pretty wicked. What are you doing exactly? I'm collecting its poison glands. We can use those to produce other chemicals to coat crossbow bolts. And the poison is something really horrible too, because it does stack on top of each other. I believe up to 5 times or something like that. So the first time it hits you, it does like 2 points of damage every turn. After it's stacked on you a whole bunch, it's like doing 15 or 20 points of damage every turn. And even if you get through the fight, it still takes a few seconds for all that poison to wear off, and it can literally kill you after the fight's over. So be very, very careful when fighting these guys. They are, in my opinion, very, very nasty. Let's see, what is that room over there? We're growing mind shrooms, of course. They are one of the most potent and certainly one of the safest psionic catalysts. The largely popular psi boosters are made from mind shrooms, in case you didn't know. What kind of creature? I'm told you can teach psionics. Do you have anything to trade? So let's see. That is correct. Are you interested in learning, perhaps? Yes, will you teach me? No, I was just curious. I've heard you score highly on Tanner's test. So yes, I will teach you what I can. If you perform one little task for me. Which task is that? Figures, maybe later. You see, I was conducting some experiments on rat hounds a while back. Was quite close to a breakthrough as well, until a little accident happened, and Brett forced me to get rid of the creatures. Now I cannot finish the experiment. Not here anyways. What kind of experiment were you conducting? What happened? What do you need me to do? I was working on developing a substance that would transform the muscle and other types of tissues into a potent fertilizer for mine shrooms. What happened? Well, I never really had the appropriate place to keep the rat hounds, so I drilled breathing holes into a couple of large crates and kept them here. It turns out I underestimated them, and after a while they chewed their way out of their predicament. What kind of experiments were you conducting? What do you need me to do? I have prepared the final version of the concoction and set of crossbow bolts with it. I need you to go out there into the caves and shoot a rat hound with it, and then once it's dead, collect a tissue sample from around the wound. Okay. If you don't have a crossbow, you can borrow mine. It's in the locker over there in the corner. It's not like I get to use it much anyways these days. And if I do this, you'll teach me for free? Sorry, but I don't have time for this right now, perhaps later. I'll teach you one psi ability for free. You'll have to pay for the rest. Alright, I'll do it. Make that 2 free psi abilities and you have a deal. You need mercantile to do that. That's one of those skills that will let you get cheaper items in the shop, but we didn't go ahead and do that. We could try it, but it's not going to work. Not a chance. It's 1 psi ability. Take it or leave it. I'll take it. Excellent. Here are the bolts and good hunting. So let's go back in there and see, what do you have for trade? He stops working, sets the knife aside, and carefully removes his gloves. Of course. So he'll stop working to sell you something, but he won't stop working to talk to you. That's a true salesman right there. So let's see, what does he have? You got patching kit, and you got the psi boosters, this medicine that contains moderate amount of saturated psychokinetics that increase psi recovery rate without any withdrawal effects. Immediately restores 50 psi and additional 20 psi each turn for the next 6 turns. AP 10 cooldown 6 turns. So that's pretty nice. That's close to what? Several hundred. It's 50 plus another 20 for 6 turns. That's, I like that. We'll probably have to get a few of those. Let's see how much those are actually. Let's do shift, hold it down. We'll do 1 for now, just to see what the price is. 45. It's actually more than 45. We can't even afford it. That's ridiculous. Chemical bolt, extractor humor, gas grenades, incendiary bolt, leather armor, processed plant and fungus. Contains instructions on how to extract useful chemicals from plants and fungus. Let's see, psi booster. Contains instructions on how to concoct a psi booster drug. So you probably need both of these. You probably need to process the plant first and then turn it into something. Let's see how much that is. Which we don't have enough for, so that's going to be something like 50 or 60. What about this one? Process. That one's a little cheaper. That one's about 50 maybe. So for about 150 we can get everything we need. Let's go ahead and close that down. And we'll come over here and check out the doors because this is the first time we've been here, obviously. Let's come over here and check out that as well. And we can go ahead and loot the locker so we can get the bolts that we need. And here you go. You got a crossbow. Damage is 11 to 23. Mechanical impact speed is low. Base action points 25 AP. Range 12. Optional or optimal is 8 spaces away. Close quarter precision is a negative 10%. So the closer you are with this object, the less precision you're going to be doing. Move and shoot precision. If you see right above your guy right here, it says focused. Your character is fully focused, which makes him more efficient in range combat. Focus is lost when you move. When you move with your character, because we haven't gotten into combat really yet, I haven't explained it that much to you, but you get a certain amount of movement points and a certain amount of action points. Action points can only be spent, or action points can be spent for movement and attacking. Movement points can only be spent for moving. So if you're in one spot and you're using your spells, your psi abilities, or your attack, and you don't move, you'll actually have those movement points left over at the end of the turn. When you end, you can't use them for an extra attack. Whereas if you stay still, you'll get this focused ability. If you move to get a little closer, a little further away, you'll lose that focused ability and you'll hit a little bit less damage that turn. And if you're using this weapon, you actually get a negative 10% to boot with that, because it doesn't do very well to move and shoot on the fly, basically. Critical chance is 8%, critical damage bonus is 125%, and it incurs 125% of mechanical damage resistance and threshold. I'm still not quite sure what that means, mechanical damage resistance and threshold on this item, but it's definitely something to take into account. Value is 1515, that's 1,515. Even though it says that it's worth that much, when you go to sell it to a vendor, you'll probably only get maybe 60 or 70 coins for it. You never get what it actually says its value is. Maybe if you had the highest mercantile you could possibly get, you can do that, but you're not going to get close to that amount. You get 20 bolts, which is ammo, standard crossbow bolt. The cool thing about bolts for your weapon is that they never need to be reloaded. You can literally use these as long as you have bolts. If you got 3,000 bolts in your inventory, you can fire 3,000 shots with never reloading your weapon. Whereas guns constantly have to be reloaded. So keep that in mind if you want to have something that's a little bit easier for you to fire in large combat areas when you're fighting 5, 10, 15 creatures at one time. You may have to do a whole lot of reloading, which means you're wasting a whole lot of time and AP points to do that. So definitely something to consider. Lights on in here. See, you got a barrel over here, and you got a bottle. It's a component, an empty bottle. Let's see, what about the shelves? Nothing in the shelves, anything in the boxes. And you got dog crate. You got 5 of them. A tool used to contain and transport small animals. Attempt to capture the target inside the crate. This will only work on certain small non-hostile creatures. AP 40, cooldown 2 turns. Now we can take them now. It's actually for requests later down the road. The same thing for these throwing nets. Combat utility can be used to immobilize opponents in combat. Throw the net at the target in an attempt to immobilize it for up to 4 turns, depending on the target's strength. AP 10, cooldown 3. That's so we can capture some kind of little creatures for this guy right over here where we're about to go talk to. I don't believe he offers the quest yet, but he will eventually. Who knows, he may actually offer it now. We'll have to check. Big Brett. And it's these guys right here, these cave hoppers, that he wants us to catch with those. But not the ones in here. He wants us to capture ones outside. You must be DeMiro. They call me Big Brett. So you've passed all the tests, I see. Couldn't have been easy. Those were just getting harder and harder in recent years. They were pretty hard, but I like challenges. I'm just really glad I made it. I think we're just right difficulty. You wouldn't want just anyone in here, right? It was a breeze. They could have at least given me a day off. I've been running their tests for weeks. They were pretty hard, but I like challenges. You're going to love it here then. So what brings you to the pens? What is this place? This is the agronomy sector where we grow and harvest all kinds of plants, but we also breed animals for food. In short, our job is to provide food to the station in any way possible. Do you have anything to trade? So you'll see he has more dog crates that you can get. You can get some tranquility bolts. You can also get blueprints for combat gloves and boots, and he only has 100 credits, so you can sell stuff to him. He buys 7 plants or fungi right now. Of course, that will constantly change. Every time you come back to him, he may buy something different. But again, he won't only buy what he has listed right here at the top. So you'll see I have plenty of stuff over here, and he doesn't want any of it. So let's go ahead and close that down. In fact, while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and put my weapon on. And I don't need to equip the bows or anything like that. They just be in my inventory. And the reason I'm going to leave one of them free is so that I can use my my heavy punch and my unarmed ability. I believe this has to be performed an unarmed attack that deals... Let me look in here real quick so I can see a better description, which is right there. I think I can actually use that without having a weapon equipped, or with a weapon equipped. Or fist weapon attack that deals that much damage. Doesn't say. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and end the episode here, guys. Again, if you like these episodes, please hit the like button, subscribe. definitely leave comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think so far of the build and the quest that we've gotten so far. I also want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode.